If I were to do these movements throughout my entire review, would you still watch? I'm going to test out this hypothesis. Actually, no, that's just stupid. I'm not going to do that. Jesse Eisenberg stars in The Art of Self-Defense, and he's a man who is basically afraid of everything. So what he does is he enrolls in a karate class to learn to defend himself, but also, as he states, so that he can become what he fears. Alessandro, Nivola, and Imogen Poots also star in this extremely dark comedy. There is like this low-level uncomfortableness that permeates the entire movie. It just sits with you the entire way. I mean, the movie itself, think Napoleon Dynamite with some Fight Club and maybe even a little Taxi Driver thrown in. Oh, that's a whole lot of imagery right there. Eisenberg plays Casey, and he is just this awkward, timid, almost frustrating to watch guy until you realize what the film is actually about. It's a commentary on bros, and when I say bros, I mean that hyper-masculine, possibly misogynistic, just overgrown frat boy. I mean, chances are you have somebody like that already pictured in your head when I talk about a bro. And this movie is really attacking them and talking about what it is to be a real man. The way that the director does this is brilliant, but also subtle. So a lot of people are gonna miss that, I think, because it is really subtle and it is wrapped in such darkness. So we're taken on this journey with Casey, and we grow as he grows, but that also becomes a little bit of the weakness of the film, or at least of the story, because there are parts that are very predictable. And so we are farther along in that journey than Casey is, and it would have been so much more just, I think, enjoyable or impactful had we been kept in the dark or discover things when he discovers them. And instead, we already know the information, even though we're not really supposed to know the information. It's just so obvious that you can't help but know the information. The first half is awkward and uncomfortable, but at that halfway point, it markedly changes and just becomes super, super dark. But it doesn't lose the comedy throughout. I mean, there are parts where we're laughing because we're uncomfortable, parts because they're just hilarious, and parts because we don't really know what else to do, or it catches us so off guard. I mean, we found ourselves laughing out loud in the theater, and really you got to question, I probably shouldn't have laughed at that, but I did because partly it caught me off guard, and then the other part it was like, that was actually funny. Casey's growth is spectacular as the story progresses, and it really builds on the commentary's strength. The film itself takes place kind of in like the late 90s, early 2000s. It's kind of nondescript, and it's Anytown, USA, because it's a small town, and that's all we really get. But it helps to paint this picture of just who Casey is. And then you also have like the coloring of the film itself. It's almost like an orangish type of tint where it brings everything down a little bit. Nothing is super bright, nothing is cheery, and it just sets the whole tone and the mood. Eisenberg is phenomenal in this. I mean, he really is awesome to watch because he is just so subtle and he's so quiet, and he plays the weakness as super weak. But as he grows, there are just changes that you get to see in his behavior, in his posture, just in everything that he does. And that adds to the strength of the movie, but it also just shows about how great of an actor he really is. The film is quiet but violent, hilarious yet thought-provoking, dark but hopeful. I know those all kind of contradict a little bit, and yet they fit the picture so well because it matches all of those. I mean, the story, the way that they build it, the commentary, everything just builds this really off-putting tale, and it's not going to be for everybody. I mean, my guess is that it's going to be very polarizing, that you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I'm not sure that you're going to sit kind of in the middle and be like, it was okay, I guess. And I think that's kind of where I sit, which is I really enjoyed it, but I'm not sure how often I'd watch it again. I mean, I'd probably watch it at least once more just to really dive in to all of the messages and all of the commentary that it's saying, and just to pull out any nuances. But to sit down for just repeated watch after watch after watch, I don't know. So if you do like quirky, dark comedies with a heavy helping of social commentary, then you should check out The Art of Self-Defense. There's no sex, but there is nudity, profanity, and violence. I give it 4 out of 5 couches. Do you know karate? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever taken a class or what your belt is. I mean, maybe you're a black belt. Who knows? Maybe you're an instructor. That'd be kind of cool. Anyway, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.